Aquarius. This is going to be your general reading for October 2018. I hope you guys are well. I'm feeling no nonsense today, so I'm going to try to do this quickly, efficiently, and in depth, if that's even possible. We'll see. Thank you for being patient with me. My puppy has been driving me absolutely insane. Every time I have the extra time to be able to do these, he just acts up and gets really whiny and needs my attention. So I'm going to try to knock out as many of these as I can right now because I dropped him off at a friend's house so I could actually focus. I'm shuffling your cards right now. So this is for Aquarius rising, sun, and moon for October 2018 in Aquarius's best, highest good, along with whatever they most need to hear about. And we'll see what's going on with you guys for this month. Some flies accidentally got in my place, so if you see me swatting, it's because they're bothering me. Happy October, happy fall, happy Halloween. I don't know about you guys, but this happens to be my favorite season. I love autumn. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do an 11 card Celtic cross spread, and I'm going to start picking your cards now. After I've picked all 11, I'll show them to you, and then I'll probably pick some clarifiers. This is always the most boring part, so if you want to, feel free to skip ahead. Wow, you guys. Pardon me. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, here are your 11 cards. And then after I show these to you, I'm going to pick some clarifiers and then I'll get going. Your central experience for the month of October is the 10 of Cups. A number of signs have been getting the 10 of Cups. Makes sense, this is harvest season. Things are changing, so certain things are culminating. What is hindering you or your challenge in this situation is strength. What is helping you is the Lovers. You have a lot of major arcanas in here. No. Yeah, 4 of them out of 11. Not a whole lot, but still, you have quite a few in here. At the core of your being, at your root, you have the Seven of Pentacles. In the recent past, you have the Empress. Your best possible outcome is the Knight of Swords. I'll be picking clarifiers to go with that for sure. In your near future, you have the Princess of Cups. You right now are the Nine of Wands. In your surroundings, you have the Two of Pentacles. Your fears, I'm guessing, are the Five of Wands. And your general outcome is the High Priestess. Interesting. There's the High Priestess and Justice and what else? There's another one. Death has been coming up for quite a few people. Okay. This month for October, I'm going to be using the Flower Speaks deck for your clarifiers. This is a very special deck that is quite rare. I've never seen anyone else have this. It's by a woman named Marlena Rudzinski. It's called the Flower Speaks. This is what they look like. They incorporate astrology, animal totems, and flowers as their main focus on how they portray the cards. She included the major arcana from the tarot, but the minor system is totally different from the tarot. This was actually given to me by the woman who created it, Marlena. And she gave me the deck, and then I ended up buying the book to go with it. So I've had this for quite a lot of years, I think like 14 or 15 years. I met her at a psychic fair where we were both working years and years ago. Okay. I'm probably not going to pick too many clarifiers because this seems pretty straightforward to me, but there are a few things in here I need more information about, so. Aquarius, rising sun and moon for clarifiers for October 2018. Okay. I'm picking your clarifiers now, and then I'll get going. Quite a few people have been getting the Lovers this month too. It seems like there's a lot of choices being made this month. Makes sense. We're in Libra season, right? There's like a center focus on decision making and relationships. That's it. After I'm done picking these, I am going to kill these flies or let them outside, and then I'll start your reading. Can you tell I'm kind of in a weird mood today? Hopefully you guys don't mind. Okay. Pick one more and then I'll... Okay. I shall be right back. I'm going to get rid of the flies. I'm back. I'm pretty sure I got rid of the flies. All of them. We shall see. Okay, you guys, I'm kind of in a efficient, no-nonsense mood today. I hope you don't mind. And so I'm going to try to do this and explain this correctly to you without wasting too many words or getting too detailed about this. So, your central experience for October seems as though there's two things in here. One is that you could be extremely happy and feel blessed about a relationship that you are in, as in a romantic relationship. Perhaps there's a renewal in the relationship where there's more happiness, joy, and just feeling blessed in the relationship than perhaps there has been. Or this could be a new relationship that you feel blessed by. That aside, if this doesn't have to do with relationships, I'm definitely seeing that you feel more centered in yourself, more balanced, more cooperative with yourself, where things are becoming clearer to you because you have been doing active work on maintaining harmony, not just with your own self, but also with others in your life in general, or situations in general. Because you're feeling more balanced, you're feeling more positive. Go figure. You're being more appreciative of the good things that you have in your life. Or you're just focusing on being happy, no matter what, no matter what's going on. You've decided to be happy. You've decided to focus on being balanced. You are looking forward to a good emotional harvest based off of things that you have done in the past, or things you have focused on in the past. So, what is your challenge to that? Is maintaining stamina in positive thinking and having hope. This card, the Shooting Star, is your card in this deck, The Flower Speaks. This is the Star card. This is your card. Because you're in a central experience of trying to maintain happiness or gratefulness, gratitude, in other words, and balance in yourself, your challenge to that is sustaining that. Or you're feeling not so strong in yourself at this time for whatever reasons. You may be feeling frustrated. You're working actively to keep this feeling of hope, optimism, joy, gratitude, but sometimes it lags, or your energy lags, or you're feeling, you're having a hard time sustaining the feeling for long periods of time. Or at certain times you feel strong in yourself, and other times you don't feel so strong in yourself. This is also two opposite major arcana cards. One is the Star, which is your card, Aquarius, and one is Strength, which is your opposite energy, Leo. And your energy, Aquarius, rules the head and the mind. Leo rules the heart. So your challenge may be to actively sustain the vibration of balancing your heart and your head, where your heart and your head are working in harmony together. But your central experience says that you are actively working on maintaining gratitude and staying balanced. So this could be balancing your heart and your head. I feel as though you are working on this. Even though it's a challenge, it's not as if it's stopping you. or it's not as if you cannot accomplish this. It just takes a certain amount of focus on maintaining this balance between your thoughts and your actions, or your heart and your head, or your logic and your passion, something. So what is helping you is the Lovers, and with Rebirth. In this deck, Rebirth is actually the Judgment card and is about energy that we thought was gone coming back, or reunions, a rebirth of a situation that you thought was over. This could definitely be saying that what is helping you is a renewal of a relationship. This could also mean that you become aware of choices that you have that you thought you didn't have, or you thought this choice wasn't possible anymore, and all of a sudden you realize that this choice is possible now. And again, the Lovers have to do with balance. Balance of your heart and your head, of your intuition and with your logic, of your feminine and masculine aspects of your nature. This can also be making a major choice in a relationship. It could be that somebody that you thought wasn't possible to be with, there is a chance for some kind of a reunion here, or they are coming back when you didn't see it coming. Or this could be that you have a renewal of balance in your own being, and so therefore you are able to make the best possible choices for you in your life at this time. You may be at a point of crossroads in your life where you have to pick one way over another way, or one person over another person, or one situation over another situation. But because you have Judgment in here, and because this is the placement of what is helping you, you should know pretty clearly what would be the best choice to make. And there may be some choices in the mix that you thought weren't possible or were dead that are coming back to life again, in which case you're seeing more of what's available to you than before. And this is making it very clear to you on what your choice is. So that's what's helping you. At your root, something is taking a long time. You feel as though you've been waiting too long, or this is just not growing to the degree or speed that you thought it was going to. And so sometimes your inspiration may be lagging. This may be one of the reasons on why you have your own card and Strength as what's hindering you, is at times you feel completely inspired and you're trying your best to stay positive and centered and keep moving forward and believe in your visions or your passions. But at the same time, you feel as though this just doesn't seem to be growing to the speed that you would like it to. Or there's a period of waiting on this where you have to be patient and allow things to grow. Things are definitely growing and moving. It's just happening underneath the surface. And so you may not be quite aware yet of just when this is going to sprout completely. This is reminding me of, if you look at this card, there's an iris flower where the man and the woman are on either side of it. The iris actually comes from a Greek goddess of the rainbow, and the rainbow is almost always included in the Temperance card. This is a Sagittarius card, by the way, and the Temperance card. And so you're trying your best to stay balanced, positive, believe in your visions and inspirations, and just to stay calm and keep on blending your heart and your head. But it's taking a while. You may be battling with feelings of impatience at times, or a lack of hope at times because of how slowly this is growing. But if you look, there's a flower that is fully sprouted and bloomed in the middle of this card. And she is looking at the seeds, waiting for the sprouts to come up. The roots may have already started. It may just be about to break through the surface. But she's not sure from her vantage point whether or not this thing is growing or not, because she can't see visually any progress here. She has to have faith that they're going to sprout any day now. And so just keep staying optimistic and do what you can, do the action steps that you can do at this time, but also just realize things are growing. They're probably going to sprout any day now. You just have to be patient and allow things to unfold in their own natural timing. You definitely have done a lot already. There may not even really be much for you to do left with this until it starts to sprout. So in the recent past, you've been focusing on abundance, on love, on creativity, on following your heart, following your passions, creating balance in your life, feeling rooted, grounded, focusing on the blessings that you do have and your powers of manifestation. There may, if this does have to do with love for some people, this can sometimes represent the person of your dreams or the person who seems ideal on what you have been looking for as far as a relationship goes. This may be somebody that you have met in the recent past that just inspires you. A person aside, this is just a feeling of abundance, fruitfulness, creativity, and just feeling relaxed, like you can create what you wish. To focus more on the organic process of creation rather than the logical aspect of it. So this is your recent past. That can also be a mother figure too. Your best possible outcome says that you need to speak up over making sure that something is fair or just. Whatever this decision is that is helping you, I feel as though you have definitely been keeping other people's needs into consideration, or you've definitely looked at this from every angle possible. There may be some kind of situation where you feel as though something isn't quite right, or something isn't just, or something is not fair. Possibly even people have been treated unfairly around you. And you are trying to bring this to people's attention, or you're trying to speak up more about this, or you feel as though the system has not been listening to you, whether it's the judicial system or something. The relationship card here is actually justice in this deck, and it has to do with making fair decisions, keeping everybody's needs into consideration before making a decision. Something about this Knight of Swords feels as though either your best possible outcome is to deal properly with someone who is not being fair or not listening to other people's needs or to the needs of the situation, to ensure that things are just, even if it means having to speak up louder or resort to methods that normally you wouldn't resort to, not in an illegal sense, you guys, but just to hit things from an angle where you've tried everything else and nothing else has really seemed to work. So now you're ready to speak up even louder about whatever this is, or you need certain information. And so you may need to apply to a system in order to get the information that you need, or bring something up to a system in order to make sure that things are just. Or you may need to speak up to someone that you have feelings for them. Somebody watching this needs to speak up on the behalf of someone else who's going through a very difficult time and possibly has tried everything in their own power to get something done about this, possibly even legally. But now it feels as though you're picking up the sword for them. Perhaps they're completely exhausted and they're not at a position anymore to be able to keep on going with this, or they've tried everything and it hasn't worked. For somebody watching, you may be picking up a sword for someone else. But in any case, speaking up about justice, that's a simple way of putting this, or speaking up on the behalf of fairness or on the behalf of somebody that you are in a relationship with, or to speak up to someone that you're in a relationship with, or someone that you would like to be in a relationship with. All those things are your best possible outcome. You may also receive some kind of information or news. You may have to investigate or look into the situation further as your best possible outcome. So, coming up for you in the near future, this card, Protection, is actually the Moon card in this deck. You have quite a few major arcana cards out of, the Flower Speaks. Actually, almost all of them except for one are major arcanas. So if I counted the clarifiers, you have you have 12 major arcana cards. This is a big deal. But coming up for you, you have the Moon card, which is Protection, in with the Princess of Cups. In the near future, this may have to do specifically for somebody on the protection of a child. There goes a fly. That's definitely true for somebody, especially if you have the court system and speaking up as your best possible outcome. I feel as though for somebody watching, if this is the case for you, you can definitely have something done about this. Doing this, picking up this sword, would definitely do something. So it's not as if it's fruitless. Protection of a child, making sure that a child feels emotionally safe. This child's been exposed to things that they should not be exposed to at all and needs protection. This could even be a situation where it's a mother and child that you're speaking up on the behalf of, and both of them need protection. That aside, that's a very specific message in here. That aside, this is honoring and protecting your own inner child. You may be in a vulnerable state in the near future where you're feeling much more emotionally vulnerable than you have. Something about this situation that you're in is bringing up insecurities. If this does happen to do with a relationship, move through your insecurities and open your heart up. Allow yourself to be vulnerable in this situation. It's okay to do this, but at the same time, if you start to feel ungrounded, like you don't know what's going on, or you are not sure if you're not sure if this is in your imagination or if this is real, or you're not sure where the other person is coming from for somebody. In which case, of course, show your feelings, be who you are, but also protect yourself. Protect your own inner child. Make sure that you feel safe before you really open up to someone else or open up to a situation. There may be something coming up where you're looking at this very simplistically, and you may be possibly trusting a little bit too much. And so you may need to be careful. Make sure that you're only opening up to the people that you truly trust and that you know totally have your back, or who will even understand what you have to say without thinking that possibly you're crazy or they just don't understand where you're coming from. It's very important to make sure that you're associating with people in the near future or situations where you feel understood and emotionally safe. If you don't feel that way, then don't open up to those particular situations. Only open up to the situations where you feel safe. You may be receiving hunches or dreams or insights or intuitions about something, and you should trust these messages that you get. But also, the Princess of Cups is all about joy and experimentation with creativity and what makes you truly happy. And it seems like you're in your feelings in the future. This is extremely interesting to me because you guys are such a fixed air sign. Normally you guys are quite rational and aren't normally in your feelings to this degree. It makes me wonder what's going on for you in the near future that would put you in this kind of a state and make you feel this vulnerable. Let me see if I can pick a clarifier to go with it to help me explain this. Something to do with a relationship or balancing yourself. This whole balancing yourself thing that seems to be such a huge central focus of this reading. Doing this to this degree may be new to you, or you may become aware of certain aspects of yourself that need to be balanced that perhaps you weren't aware of before. And so something about this trying to balance yourself situation or balance a relationship situation or balance justice in a situation is making you feel more vulnerable. And so keep in mind you have strength as one of your challenged positions. Lady Strength here is the lady that you go to protect vulnerable people like this. Piscean people, water people, children, just people in a vulnerable emotional state. This is the person you call on in order to make sure that they are held, contained, and kept in a place where they are able to go through that process without feeling as though their guts are spilling out. But because this is in your challenged position, it makes me wonder if you're not getting enough support, or you're not feeling supported enough, or you just need to conjure up more of your own internal force, your own internal protective forces. Ask the universe for help if you need it with feeling protected more. So, you right now, you are in a process of wrapping things up that you have already been doing for quite some time. Again, you may be in some kind of a position of having to speak up on the behalf of something or someone or a situation or yourself. But you are coming from a wise place. This card, Purification, the Sage, is the Hermit card in this deck. And so it's important for you to take time out when you start to feel confused or vulnerable, or you're not sure what to do, or you're not even sure what's going on. Take time out in order to have quiet space to be able to get back in touch with what matters to you and how you feel or how you think. It may be you're taking other people's opinions in too much. Or when you start to get confused like that, take time out to get back in touch with your own inner fire and what you internally know. The Sage knows. He's the keeper of knowledge. He's the keeper of healing. He's the keeper of wisdom. He's about purifying different aspects of yourself in order to get to the basic core truth of any matter, your own personal truth. And that way you will know exactly what to say, what to do, and how to approach this situation or this person. You may need to stand up for something. Trust your own wise self within more than any external authority figures. Unless the external authority figures or wise people around you back up what you already know within yourself. Then you know you're on your right track, and then it's just validation. But something is being wrapped up right now, and it requires you to simplify your own inner nature to get down to your basic core truth of where you're at right now and what you're doing. You may need to seek some advice, actually, from someone whose opinion you value or thoughts that you value. In your surroundings, you're juggling. You're either juggling multiple jobs, multiple locations, multiple things, possibly juggling different money situations in order to come up with enough that you need, or you're trying to do what you normally do in with something else that is needing your attention at this time. In your surroundings, there may be a lot of weighing, as in, do you want to live here or do you want to live there? Do you want to pick this person or do you want to pick that person? Do you want to pick that job or that job? Or can you keep both? Are you just feeling like you have to make a choice, but you're not? You're still in the process of it. So let me pick a clarifier to go with that. Hopefully this is making sense, you guys. You're trying to decide what your vision is. You may have two big ideas or two things that you want, or you have your regular thing that you normally take care of in with what you want, which is your vision. I've always considered this an Aquarian card. This has to do with humanitarianism or following your vision, carrying out a purpose that betters the lives of other people, or just following your vision, following your dream. And maybe you're torn on what your dream is, or you know what your dream is, but you're torn on how to go about actually manifesting this on a material plane in with the things that you already have to take care of. Or even simply deciding on what vision to choose, or how to balance this vision in with what you already are taking care of. So that's going on in your surroundings. Or what location to move to, something. Your fear is of fighting and conflict, of people not working together, or situations not coming together easily. This can also be internal conflict. You may be having to battle with confusion through all of these things, and your fear may be that you continue to have inner conflict, or a lack of inner clarity or peace on what the heck you're doing. This can also be a fear of opposition or conflict from other people concerning what you're trying to do. But what is your hope? Is that you can follow your own intuition. I feel as though your intuition is extremely strong at this time. It's kind of that time of year when all of our intuitive capacities are heightened this time of year. The veils are thin, and so we're more aware of what our inner self is telling us. Your hope is that you're receiving clear messages, or that the messages that you are receiving are right or accurate, so that you can actually act on these things. Which I am happy to tell you that your general outcome is. These are two cards that are very similar. You have inner hearing, which in this deck is the Hierophant, the speaker of ageless wisdom, or the spiritual authority, which is your own spiritual authority within your own being. This is very similar to the High Priestess, which rules your psychic capacities or your intuitive capacities or your inner knowing or your gut reactions to things. What you are receiving about, especially I'm getting something hidden that is not easily seen on the outside. Whatever it is that you are getting on something that is hidden or something that you feel very strongly about is accurate. Your general outcome is that your inner knowing, your inner intuition is extremely accurate at this time. This should be your guiding force through all of this stuff. And so if you get a hunch, like for instance, if somebody watching is speaking up in court on the behalf of possibly a mother and child or a parent and child or some kind of situation that is going on, if your intuition tells you that a certain person is going to try to confuse matters or eliminate something that should be presented, trust your intuition and do whatever it takes in the meantime behind the scenes to arrange things where it can come to its best conclusion. That's one hypothetical situation I'm saying, but you can apply that to a number of different situations. Whatever situation you are in, whatever your inner self is telling you is accurate. If you try to, this is your best possible outcome, based off of what you get, or what you see, or what you know. If you try to speak up about this and make sure that things are fair, your fear in here is that people are going to react to that badly, or not understand where you're coming from, or try to fight the situation. But keep in mind that what is helping you are things that you thought were dead that are coming back, or things that are possible coming back that you thought weren't possible. Or something is coming back, something is coming to the light, or something is being exposed, or something is being brought back to life about this situation. This is what is helping you. This may actually get the attention of other people to something that you are trying to get their attention about. It may not cause conflict. This may very well have to do with a relationship, in which case trust your gut and communicate about things being fair. Make sure that you are not becoming too confused with balancing a situation. If you feel vulnerable in the near future throughout all of this process, you may not be used to this type of situation. You may be wondering whether or not you should trust your intuition, or whether or not you're doing it in the right way, or whether you're exposing yourself too much. Let me pull one. I think I did pull one. Yep. But keep in mind, this is, as long as you stay balanced and try not to be knocked off balance by this whole process, everything should come out just fine, because you do have the Justice card as one of your cards for your best possible outcome. You will receive justice. You will get clearer on what the heck is going on and come up to some kind of a resolution or decision about this whole matter. Hopefully that wasn't too vague. Hopefully that made sense to you. I wish you all the best. Many blessings to you, and I shall see you soon, Aquarians.